Warning. Warning. This is not a test. This is not a test.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Drop it.
Tonight, the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series goes racing from Worldwide Technology Raceway. Tonight, the Cup Series gets ready to race at Gateway for this evening's coverage of the Mission 22-150 here on Ballin TV. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight is Arkham and Art Series racer Brayton Lester. DJ Lyon is working the controls as a producer, using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. Tonight we go racing for 150 laps, Brayden, but tonight's going to be a different type of wild, especially when it comes to Gateway, different type of track, different types of grooves, different types of potential shifting opportunities.
Yeah, one of the more unique oval configurations on the schedule here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Like you mentioned, different braking technique, different shifting technique, different turn-in, the way to tackle each corner. Each corner is very different. Turn 3 and 4, very wide, very long, very abstract, you can almost say, and very tight 1 and 2 is. So you got ready to tackle this track with a special kind of pizzazz.
Going to be an interesting stretch too. You have Pocono, then you go road course racing in a couple weeks, and then by the end of the month, it's going to get very busy. You have the All-Star race. You also have the race at North Wilkesboro the next day, mind you. And then you have a Sunday race, a part of the schedule that's going to add to the busyness. That is a full 600-mile race at Charlotte amongst some of the upcoming races on the schedule. But how have things been faring out for the drivers? Well, here's the playoff standings. Evan Janik has taken himself into a new level. Red hot with 4 wins on the season. He leads the playoff standings. You also have 8 total drivers that have picked up victories in the MRL Cup Series standings. The cut line, just 3 points to separation. Brayton Caleb Hunt, who's had some bad luck as late, is just behind the 47.
Then to see that battle right there on that playoff cut line is the tightest battle, because also have Reggie Time right there, also 3 points to that cutoff line. So 3 drivers all looking for those 2 spots there, and then Joshua Gill and Zach White obviously outside looking in. But you get an upset winner, JP, it can definitely shake things up.
A lot of opportunity for upsets. Andrew Allen still the highest running driver without a win in the MRL Cup Series standings so far in the points. Joshua Gill, the last of those, that is someone on the full time. We've seen Zach White up and down the running order when he's been a part of the action too, amongst some of those playoff standing drivers. Still have a few more minutes to go in the qualifying session for tonight. As we get ready for tonight, what are some of those expectations when you go racing at a track like this with Gateway, especially knowing it's been only on the Cup schedule for a few years now, but has put on some phenomenal racing? This used to also, mind you, be a road course back in the 1980s before it became an oval.
And before it was a road course, JP, it was actually a drag strip, and that's kind of what got a lot of its fame and fortune. Evel Knievel did a lot of stunts back here in the late 70s. Actually did a lot of big, like, television stunts, driving motorcycles over school buses and whatnot, and that's kind of how this place became to be. They built the road course in the 80s, like you mentioned there, and then in the late 90s, they said, hey, you know what? We're going to make it a 1 1/4 mile oval. The Busch Series came, the Truck Series came, ARCA came there for a couple years, and now, like you mentioned, host a wide variety of series. It's hosted IndyCar the past couple years, host, NASCAR nowadays, and it's a great track just outside St. Louis, a great venue to drive right by it on the interstate driving into St. Louis. So it's a very beautiful track, very difficult to drive, though.
Yeah, but as we get going here tonight, we have to keep an eye on those stages. The stages, laps 35 and 80. Fuel limit's about 63%. And there's also a total of 6 tire sets available in the pit lane here tonight. So there is some opportunity for strategy here. There is that one faster pair in case you end up making a mistake. That's the big thing. But these lap times, for reference, in these next-gen machines, about 33, 34 seconds at the moment, Brayton.
I was saying, you're going to have to sit there and watch your fuel, watch your tire wear, and try and make that set last. I think the big thing here is making an extra set somewhere. Say, see the stages, 35 and 80. I don't think fuel will be an issue in those stages. It's going to be that 70-lap green flag run. If we get a green flag run, but that 70-lap run to end the race, where we're definitely going to see guys try to push the tires, push the fuel, and I think that is, we're going to have to try and find an extra set at some point.
So a few more moments to go in qualifying. Interesting enough, this is going to be one of your smallest grids of the season. In total, 19 drivers made their way over to Gateway for this race. Of those, only 15 have taken part in the qualifying session for tonight. So they will now wrap things up in the next couple moments or so to set up your field here from Worldwide Technology Raceway. We'll See those starters coming up here in the next moment or so as they now make their way onto the racetrack. The fast lap was a 34.131. Evan Janik setting that time. Different look for him tonight. He'll start alongside, also a different look, Isaac Wilson. Row number 2 features Colin Bollinger, who will start alongside Christian Barnes. Barnes 3/10 off the pole time. Andrew Allen and John Ullman start alongside in row 3 this evening, both in a pair of Chevys. Then you have Rayshon Wingfield. He's back for the first time in a while. Joshua McGill will start in 8th in THG Designs car. Alan Zukov starts 9th, and Adam Holston, celebrating a birthday this week, starts in 10th, Brayton.
Then looking at the drivers starting outside their top 10, it's going to be David Moyer and Jared Snyder there in 11th and 12th. Behind them, Joshua Thornton and Aaron Espy in 13th and 14th. The last driver to take a time here tonight is going to be Gio Volante in that 35 machine, 1.2 seconds off quick time. A couple drivers did not take a time. That includes a double zero of Beckett Brown there, running off 16th. Behind him, Caleb Hunt in 17th, Brett Wren in 18th. And their last driver, running off 19th tonight in a row all by himself. It's a Black Rifle Coffee Company 22 of Jeffrey Fisher.
That's our top to bottom at the runner here tonight, as we are just about all set to go racing. Then we'll get a couple laps of pacing to be able to get sorted here for tonight. First things first, your keys to victory, Brayton.
I think keeping it clean, look for the green run, make a long green run happen if you can. Obviously, it's out of their control, but try and maximize those passes. Try and go to the front and try to be there.
Standing by, we have in-race reporter here tonight. Brett Wren will start 18th. Brett, how are you feeling about the car tonight?
Oh, not too bad, buddy. Obviously, I'm starting in the rear for a reason. Not too well, but we'll do what we can to save tires, fuel, and make it to the end at least.
So how would you describe the characteristics of driving this racetrack? What should fans expect to see with drivers around Gateway here tonight?
I would say a lot of loose exits going out of turn 2 and turn 4. This track's very tough. I know we struggled a lot of last night in regards to exiting. It's really going to be more of a matter of throttle control and being able to finish the race without any incidents. But tonight also will really determine when it comes to fuel and tire savings.
Overall, where do you think you're going to end up here tonight? What are your expectations for your finish?
I had a terrible time with the qualifying, so I'm starting here in the rear. I would really hope with at least a top 15. I'm nowhere near a top 10 or a top 5, but my goal is essentially just try to survive here and at least get a top 15.
Well, there's 19 cars tonight, so as long as you survive, there's a good chance of that. Once you get to the preparation, good luck tonight, Brett.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for broadcasting tonight, and have a good night.
Speak with Brett throughout the evening as well as he gets all sorted out. He'll be starting this race 18th. Brayton, who is your pick to win this race and why?
It's hard to go against the man on the front row, especially when he's been as successful as he has, and that's not just the man on the front row, but the man in the pole position, the 71 of Evan Janik.
Janik setting the tone as of late after seeing multiple winners to start. It's been Janik who's taken the momentum by the horns. Tonight, he'll lead things off. Glad to have you with us here on Bowman TV for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League. Green flag is out. We're underway from Gateway. Janik starting things off a little bit dicey, but he begins with the lead. Oh, we have some smoke in the back. Couple cars sliding up, and it's Brett Brett Wren is split up into traffic and the caution flag waves.
Okay, just shy of 1 lap completed there. Only one still left on the scene is that 24F Brett Wren. Not going to be running here tonight.
Well, his expectations were to survive. I don't think he expected to be the first caution with the loose off 4.
Yeah, him and the 35 both of those synchronized spinning there. Both slide down the track, hit the inside wall. Brett obviously gets a little worse of it as he gets tagged from a couple guys behind as well. He does have one faster. Hate to use it though here on lap number 1.
The wiggles, as you call it, where one car wiggles, you get double the force from the car for the case 35. Brett Wren getting the worst of the contact, as already seen himself have to come down pit road, obviously, after multiple hits to the 24 machine. And he is our in-race reporter. Brett, already? What happened?
That wasn't a good start there. I just got super loose going into the, like I said, out of turn 4. I'm looking at 11.5 minutes of damage if I want to take my fast repair, and I'm kind of trying to decide.
Well, now that you've actually lost a lap here in this situation, what's the approach now going to be, knowing the death wiggle is definitely real, but also you've already basically used up a mulligan?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, it won't let me use my fast repair right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just pull out here, take the lap behind, wait for the next caution, because I would imagine it's probably gonna happen within the next, before first stage, and I'll take the fast repair then, and at that point it's really gonna be just a matter of staying alive. I did fairly well yesterday with the Xfinity race, so I just really need to kind of practice a little bit more patience here. And I did not expect to get loose right there out of 4th.
Once you get to the damage repairs, the leaders are coming into turn 3. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that went quickly for his prediction here, Brayton. He predicted some bad luck. He predicted the wiggles. He got the wiggles early.
And he's going to be trying to wiggle his way through the rest of this field now. It's one thing if you're running the whole race to kind of get used to your car, what adjustments it likes, and everybody kind of set up, and then you wreck later in the race. But, I mean, you're basically starting off here with a wrecked car. It's very hard to come back from that as you come down and take that fast repair, which we'll have to see if he does later after they go back green here. Which is one thing, he's like, oh, I only have a minute of damage, the car won't be that bad, and you get out there and you're 3 or 4 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, lately we've been getting really into the swing things again in racing, and I'll tell you, any little bit of damage these days with the damage model, you can absolutely feel it. How rough the damage is. By the way, these are your track temperatures. Was a little bit higher in the qualifying. So, it is 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now in sim time. It is 4 o'clock just about in sim time as well. Air temp, 69. It's fairly cool around Gateway. But coming up to the restart, Bollinger chose the inside, outside chosen by Janik on your front row. They've already given a warning to tighten the lanes back up. There's a lot of separation right now in the mid-pack as they run. All set to get back underway for our race here at Gateway. Green flag is out. Back away, and Bollinger tightened it up, but Janik has the better run.
And there'll be a car down, though, on the apron as they come to the back straight over here. It's going to be Brett Wren, who just came down, taking the green to get his fast repair. Literally right about 50 feet in front of your leaders here. So lap traffic already playing a part of this.
All right, single file from onto the field, too. As Holston gets himself clear, you see him in the blue car. Already the leader, we're pulling away by 4 or 5 car lengths. One thing to note, you push too hard on these tires, especially early in the run, Brayton, These tires melt like cheese. Oh, near trouble for the race leader. Big trouble for Holston in the pack. He slides down out of 2 and spins up the track. Caution flag is off. Into Zukov he goes.
I say that the field was lapping Brent Wynn there, kind of caused a bit of some turmoil up front. Some guys to make evasive maneuvers. That really had nothing to do with it. That was all the number 8 car of Adam getting loose there. Adam Holston. If I see the replay here, the big Les show machine, a beautiful looking car. Not so much anymore. He had it saved there, and then it just snaps back into the outside wall on Zukov. Literally wrong place, wrong time.
Let's see one more time if it was just too much speed or if it was part of the shifting for Zukov. Just a poor bystander. Already was choosing the outside line with that 29 to Thornton preferring the inside groove.
And it's going to look like the 8 has it saved here. You'll see him there take a hard right back in track. So everyone goes in a little hot here, especially Zukov. Zukov's missing the corner completely and has to stick with the outside line and paid the price already for missing the corner, and then really paid it when Holston came off the track there.
Significant nose damage, taking the fast repair already. About 3 cars have done so. 6 have already made a trip to pit road in this race, and we're not even 10 laps in to the first stage. So it's already been a wild start here, Brayton. 2 laps to green already, but still, what goes to the mind when the cautions breed cautions like this at a track like this?
Well, we're already using up the fast repairs fairly quickly. We saw Brett take his, the number 8 machine of Holston's going to take his. A couple other guys at least spending a lot of time getting damage fixed. Zukov probably took his, looking at how clean that car is now. So a lot of fast repairs being taken here early, which means normally guys will back it down a little bit because they don't really have as much wiggle room, or they don't have that fast repair to rely on. And then you'll see cars that kind of start to drop, and looking already like a race of perseverance. We want to finish, and to finish first must finish, as we like to say on the ARCA side of things. You guys don't quite get that memo, but already, so far I don't think we have any D and Fs, but fast repairs, well, we're having a fire sale.
As they continue to pace around, one of the drivers getting repairs done to their car. We'll note is the 16 Aaron SP. Save note that there's a birthday for the 16 car. Happy birthday to Aaron SP, who's one of the drivers still in the race, running 18th as we come to the choose. There's a look at 16 as we go to the choose zone. And the outside again chosen by the 71. There's a look for the angle. Somebody definitely chose middle, just about. I believe that was Brett.
Well, sometimes you gotta go low, sometimes you gotta go high, sometimes you just kind of confuse everybody.
It's important to be able to get that zone right. It was already noted by drivers that there was a green zone. There are 3 seams of the track. If you're touching the 2 seams, essentially to the middle of the racetrack, by the time you're at the line, you have to use the EOL. In that case, there's a bit more seam work to the inside than there is outside. Robert's being told, get some laps on the board. We're coming up to lap 10. Much of the race so far turned under caution.
I think that's a big part of it, JP, not to interrupt you, but we're not even getting heat in the tires. That's a huge part of this right here, I think.
Not even any heat in the tires. That's going to make things difficult. Still, green flag is out. Inside line doesn't go. The outside gets a huge jump heading to turn 1.
Bill trying to sort it out here. Who wants to go low? Who wants to go high? Side by side for 4th are Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes. They work it out, come up to turn 2. One driver in the wall, that's Colin Barnes, and he keeps it going straight.
Barnes right now trying to make some moves, work on the inside. He'll go for the slow roll as Allen does the same, following behind his fellow Chevy.
See Barnes are side by side with Christian Barnes. See Allen on board, trying to maybe just kind of play the patient game, see which door opens up and try and fill it as Barnes Looks like getting some pressure now from Christian Barnes on the bottom. Barnes starting to wash up a little bit. Bollinger held his line. That'll make him tight on corner exit there. You see him fall back going to turn 3. Now open the door for Andrew Allen.
But Allen is up to the way outside. Doesn't work out. It seems as though if you want to make a pass work today in 3 and 4, you're going to need to be to the inside groove. That seems to be the trend, Brayton. The way things are going, harder to pass in 1 and 2 though with the multi-groove.
See that Barnes misses the corner big time through 1 and 2, but able to get the run down and back straightaway and actually pulls away from Andrew Allen. So even though they missed the corner a little bit, it won't hurt you. But 3 and 4, like I said, you have to really nail to get it right.
Look at Halston. Halston trying to get back into a rhythm. Right now running in the back of the field in 15th position. So far that FSR machine holding up fairly well as he now makes the move back on Zukov. Seems to be able to find a lot more grip this time, even with the hops.
They turn 1 and 2 here, a little more bank than 3 and 4. Not only is it quite not as wide, but it's 2 degrees more bank, so it's 11 degrees total banking versus 3 and 4, which is 9 degrees.
And it's a different approach compared to that, I would almost say Indianapolis or Trenton style 3 and 4, for the way the banking works in that part of the racetrack. Rayshawn Wingfield, one of the drivers that's had to get damage repairs done already to the 23. Making a move on Moyer.
He slides up the track, takes the dirty air off him, and that's how you make a move right there, to make a pass. Meanwhile, though, one driver not really having to worry about getting past Evan Janik, pulling away to almost 0.8 of a second lead over Isaac Wilson.
So far holding on to a very solid rhythm, 33.9 last time by the stripe. That's that balancing act we're talking about in the early going on the tires. You have to make sure those first 10 laps you don't fry those rubbers and turn those Goodyear Eagles into a puddle of mud. And right now Janik seems to be doing a good job at that while also stretching the lead by a 0.5 to a 10th lap.
I'll say call 811 before you dig. Well, Evan Janik, he better have called 811 before this race, because he is digging all right and he is burying the field here. Still 0.8 of a second advantage, pulling away over Colin Bollinger and Beckett Brown in 3rd and 4th. So Isaac Wilson seems to be the only one with a fighting chance looking back through the field here to see that down the Zukov machine trying to work its way back inside the top 10.
So these drivers just trying to recover time here after the early incidents. We've seen Jeffrey Fisher a few times now in races. He's looked pretty solid in his 92-22 designed paint scheme. The gold and black right now running well. But up front, you know who is for the first time here tonight, or at least a while, is Beckett Brown. He was one of the top drivers in final practice. He's looking for 3rd. Trouble straight away. Andrew Allen has just looped it around from 6th. No caution, we stay green.
Yeah, did a little sideways 4-wheel drift and got it going straight again. Lost a couple of spots. Fell outside the top 10, so from 6th to about 11th or 12th. You see what happened here. Look on that bright green nose 96. Kind of gets out of the groove a little bit. Just steps on a little too hard and 4-wheel slides, locks it down, and we'll have to see. Not only did he lose a ton of spots, but we'll have to see if he hurt his tires that are locking it down like that.
That puts him back to the 11th spot, but as mentioned, that 00 is moving. Beckett Brown, last time by, was quicker than the leader. Now he's up to the 3rd position. So, oh, trouble! He gets bumped and ran into the corner. The 00 with a good save as Bollinger bumps him back again.
Brown still upset, still trying to save it. He's going to come down, collide to 53. Bollinger, both of them hard on the outside wall. One driver comes along, clips the 53 Bollinger again. And we are under caution here with 2 destroyed race cars sitting outside of turn 2. And let's get this ball on TV replay and see what happened here.
Over the bumper, just rides him, and then boop. Chaos.
I don't think it's intentional payback. I think the double zero just never got the rear end to set. See him kind of step out there, get loose, and try to save it, comes down, collects 53. They're going to see someone else here slide on by and collect 53 as well. I think it might have been Joshua Thornton. Now, Thornton's going to be the innocent bystander here, and we'll get this replay, though, from Brown's point of view.
See him right there as he tries downshift. Jacks him up. And then as he settles the car down in a third, jacked up again by a second bump, gets him loose.
I say, yeah, I don't think that was intentional afterwards. It's kind of, the car never really settled. And here comes Thornton.
Let's see what happened here. Clean race car turns into a demolished race car. Several people are pitting in live action. You see on the right side of your screen. Thornton had been a ways back of the incident before it sparked.
I say Thornton was one of their bigger movers. Was started 13th, was running almost inside the top 5, just outside of that time, and then this happens. Really nowhere he could have gone. He was literally up against the wall and flipped it left front there. So he's not taking his fast repair. He's getting the second time to get it fixed, saving that fast repair for a bigger incident down the road if he needs it. So he'll try and keep that fast repair in the bank. Same with Beckett Brown and Aaron Espy. Colin Bollinger also not taking his fast repair. So I'll leave their fast repairs in the banks for now, as we are going to go green with less than 10 laps, I believe, to the end of stage 1.
It's going to be close. Remember, it's to 35. Coming up towards the choose pretty soon here. Looking like we're going to have more than 10 laps here, Brayton. But remember, some of these drivers are already starting to also burn through those tire sets that are going to be also valuable for that third stage. That's going to be something they're going to have to be careful of. Some of the drivers now that pit will be restarting as far back as about 12 here.
Okay, definitely going to kind of shake things up here. So it's just going to be outside 10 laps of racing before the end of the stage. You don't know if we're going to tear up anything before that lap 35 crossing as well, the way tonight has gone. So we'll have to kind of wait and see.
So Janik chooses the outside. Ullman this time is the one choosing the inside. Isaac Wilson yet again choosing the outside. David Moyer went inside. Choose is good. And it's the question, can anybody stop the 71? Moyer having a solid night so far. Seen him close on the cut line, and well, he is doing well with the LLM paint schemed machine.
So one of their bigger movers up 7 spots as well. So that bright yellow AER 47 definitely gonna be one to watch here coming to this restart. Seems able to pick up a podium position in stage 1.
Teammates Aaron Espy for reference. The AER is Aaron Espy Racing. But the Mission 22 machine of Wilson gets ready to line up behind your control car from 5 Star Racing. Green flag is out of the restart zone. Backing away. Good launch for the leader. Good start for Ullman as well. But it's going to be Wilson who's got the more zoom on the outside to take second back.
See, that goes around that Slim Chicken's machine. Like he's a slim chicken himself, and Wilson now has a sight set on Evan Janik. See if he can run him down.
2x2 as drivers get a rhythm. Some fresh tires mixed in with some old tires mixed in with some fuel onlys and or fast repaired only drivers so far in the field. Rayshawn Winkfield of Unslo's cutting ahead. See also Holston getting boxed in behind Knopfsnutter, as well as Joshua Gillen as they run.
Okay, up no, you're going to say Brent Wynn was back on the lead lap, actually went a lap down during that pit cycle. So I don't know if he didn't get a lap back though. Showing was a lap back. That's Evan Janik though. Here's the field as they are getting dicey behind him.
Holston still pushed up outside, still can't get it to work. That's because Barnes is to his inside now as well. And Barnes did take 4 tires on the last pit stop, Looks like Barnes is in full save mode to make sure he doesn't burn up the rubber here with now less than 10 to go on the stage.
Is he in full save mode? Because he looked like he's in full sin mode. Sin's on the bottom of Jared Knopfsnyder there. As they're going to come up on a rolling machine of Joshua Gillen rolling slow that is. Not sure what happened to the 10 car, but he was literally going about 20, 30 mile an hour slower. We caught on down the back stretch there, so interesting cycle of events there.
Now let's see what happened here. Holston way up out of the groove.
Oop,
he ends up smacking the wall hard and nearly clips into Hunt.
That could have been pretty ugly there. And now Barnes, Christian Barnes up to 7th on those fresh set of tires. We'll have to see lap time wise, he's one of the quicker drivers in the top 5. He's still not as quick as Evan Janik, but he is the next best thing.
So the 4 tires moving forward right now. Wingfield is on the same strategy, by the way. Difference is Wingfield's had to come in for repairs and or fuel forehand 2 other times. And the big difference on tires is really showing when they're in clean space right now. The problem is there is nowhere for them to go. A lot of these drivers in front are battling amongst themselves, and that's now boxing in the fresh tires.
See that Barnes definitely getting boxed like a Domino's pizza box there. It's literally got the 23 that's outside the 47 in front. Might take him 3 wide. Is looking low. He's going back out of it early. Shoot to the outside of the 47 of David Moyer. Try and make the move here as they're coming to 5 laps to go on the stage here in a couple laps.
Closing in on laps here. Continue to cycle around at this point. Wingfield making the move now on Allen. By the way, John Ullman has really fallen off. Last corner, he tried to run the 3rd line and dive to the 1st. And we got some dangers there as Allen trying to retake a spot on Wingfield. Goes for the send, not working on the old tires.
I'll say coming a couple laps to go on the stage. Barnes, though, going into the outside wall there. That definitely won't do him any favors. Looking inside the bottom of Andrew Allen. He'll back out of it after contact with the wall there. Christian Barnes now looking inside. He'll slide in deep. Doesn't quite have a hole yet as he's seen Rayshon Wingfield and Ullman just kind of pull away here.
All of them still trying to figure out a simple question. How do they get around drivers on older tires that don't want to be passed? Ullman has to lift hard to the gas. He nearly looped it, trying to hold on to what was in the top 5. So, down to less than 5 to go in the stage. They continue to battle on the screen for 4th.
Side by side off of turn 4. So Barnes doesn't get that advantage on the bottom like you think he would. His track is very, very tricky because sometimes the bottom will get the speed going down the front straightaway there. Normally the outside obviously being momentum line as 96 carries momentum straight into the outside wall. That opens the door for Christian Barnes to slide right on by. And that he does.
It does indeed. So, closing laps here as Janik continues to dominate. Not much else you could really say. He has been pixel perfect. 34 twos rather have been the pace. And right now that's going to be tough to beat if that's the long run pace with how the yards are racing.
I mean, one of the only other drivers under 34.2 range is Isaac Wilson, a second, Christian Barnes on new tires. So that kind of goes to show the speed underneath the 71 machine.
Take a look at the TH Designs machine. TH Designs, one of the presenting sponsors when it comes to the Mystic Racing League. The 10 machine, that is part of that sponsorship. Running 7th, doing solid. He is amongst drivers who topped off the opening caution of this race. Seems to have the pace right now to pass the 47 if he wants to, but he's electing just to ride outside the stage window for points.
Stage points will make or break their season, and we see how tight the playoff bubble and cut line is. Well, every point matters.
Right on 1 to go in stage 1. So far, all the laps going the way of Evan Janik. He is catching on fire. Comes to his speed. He'll come out of the final corner here. Green, white checker flag waves. It's 22 150s. First stage goes to Evan Janik. Does so by a sizable 2 near 3 seconds. Wilson, Wingfield, Barnes, and Allen get top 5s in the stage for points.
I don't think anyone bet against Evan Janik. They are absolutely dominating performance in stage 1. Looking to carry that momentum through the rest of this race.
Take a step aside. Pit stops coming up. You're watching Ballin TV for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Survive, go like a race and we come alive. We're brothers and sisters bound by the code. In the heat of the battle, we lighten the load. From the dirt to the track, we stand our ground. With a roar like thunder, we shake the town. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, gold like a race and we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die.
Evan Janik continuing to control things up in front of the field as we get set for a restart. Christian Barnes in second, Wilson and Wingfield amongst the top 4 spots here at Gateway. Janik's led them all so far. This time tries to park the bus, slow things down to a crawl, gets a punt forwards to be able to launch ahead by 4 car lengths. Brayton.
A Obviously, no surprise there, but it's Barnes and Isaac Wilson going side by side for a second. Off of turn 2, they touch doors. Wilson slides up, Barnes slides down, and it's Isaac Wilson prevailing with the position.
Already some people trying to make up a lot of lost ground. All even tires now, by the way. But as expected, burning a set of rubber. Allen spent 30 seconds at pit road due to damage issues. See everyone up front get single filed. Allen is that car going way low, 3 wide. That makes somehow sticks.
Yeah, somehow makes it stick. Picked up a couple spots there. Second, third, and fourth all about hit the wall there. Isaac Wilson, Christian Barnes, and Colin Bonds are all playing bumper cars in the front half of the field. As you see, Andrew Allen back there trying to sort it out.
Bonds making a block in front of Ullman meanwhile. And what goes to mindset when you're trying to recover after a huge incident like Bonger had, where he already had to burn the fast repair, believe, or at least get manual repairs done on the car. And now you have a car spinning in front of you. It's Wakefield in the grass. Wakefield into the grass. No caution. We stay green as he still gets onto the racetrack. Wakefield has parked it on the racetrack the wrong way around. There's the yellow.
See, they'll wait on the caution flag there. Most of them have made it by, only 2-3 guys left, but yellow flag comes out here on lap 42 for the 23 of race on Wakefield. I'm thinking just a single self car spin here out of 2, and that is what it is. Goes in the grass, steps on it a little bit, trying to keep out of the wall, still taps it, comes back up the track, and they're actually going to see Brett Wynn coming out of the pit lane here, having to put 2 tires in the grass to avoid him. I think he went to go gas it up to get turned around and scared Joshua Gillen and maybe Zukov, and that's when the caution flag came out.
That's going to draw some ire there, as he was towards the back now with the spin back of track. Going to allow some drivers to at least get some damage repairs done like Yesby, but now they'll have to regroup and reset again. It looks like Allen is coming down pit road again, something the 96 didn't like that he felt in that car.
Say that. Like I said, great opportunity for some guys to come down and get some more damage repaired. Maybe, you know, top up on gas this stage a little bit longer than that first stage. Obviously, though, hoping for less caution.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions. Why don't we check in with our in-race reporter? He is now dead last in the race. Brett Wren having a rough time right now in the field. Let's check in with Brett. Brett, how are things going for you in the car right now? 5 laps down.
Not too bad. That first incident really just kind of screwed me for the night. I've been trying to kind of work my way back. Got it loose again, another turn. I don't remember what lap it was, and that gave me about 4 minutes of damage. So I'm just trying to catch up here. This track's very hard for a lot of people, especially myself being super new to the iRacing in general. So it's a learning process, frustrating at the same time, but we'll get back up there. Fine.
What's been the team discussion been like so far? Because at least for your team, it's been different dynamics. Some people mid-pack, some people in domination station like Janik, now coming to 1 to go already. What's been the team mindset, or at least the comments been like with the mixture of speed tonight?
That's one of the really good positive things about being part of 5-Star. Everybody's super positive regardless of how bad of a night you're having. Everybody tries to be really supportive and just give you that support that you need. Janik's really good at helping us out and asking what he can do to help us to get better. So everybody's in good spirits. I'm personally not, but it's a part of it. So we'll hopefully the night gets better. Hopefully get a few more cautions, so I get some of these laps back. But if not, it's going to be a good night regardless.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. We'll see if you're able to get the laps back downside. Joshua Gillen just lost the lap. So that's Brett Wren currently looking for a medley of cautions. He's hoping a litany of them start to fire back very quickly. So, Evan Janik up front. Alongside of Christian Barnes. Green flag is out. Back on her way. Another good launch for the 71. Another good launch from Isaac Wilson from second.
Yeah, Janik sitting in deep there in 1 and 2 pulls away single file as the rest of the field is still trying to sort it out off of turn number 2. As one driver in the grass, Jared Knopfsnyder, goes on the pit lane exit road and he'll keep it going straight.
It's one of the FSR cars around. We stay green. You know who's making a good recovery now in the move? Oh, how about some roughing? That's Brown getting back with Bollinger, rubbing doors. The 00 able to move his way past the 53.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, JP. Weren't these two playing a little rough earlier in the race?
Yes, they were. And now the 00 showing its speed.
They mentioned it took some time to get these cars back straight to the way they were when they started their race. And Becky Brown trying to make the most of this speed. Looking inside of Christian Barnes here.
Faster pairs have gone so far. Interesting enough, Brown not a part of that category for red look right there. There's a look at it specifically. Bollinger did use one. Brown got manual damage repairs done on the 00. It's running very well. Despite that, that's a little bit of a fishtail. Good save off the corner as he slams the door in the 53's face. And now the 53 gets into him and turns him. Up the track goes Brown into Bollinger. No caution yet, but there it is. The 8 slams in.
Adam Holston, innocent bystander again, and I think this is almost not identical, but shades of the same gray as our previous incident here. We'll see exactly what happened.
Yeah, remember they've gone at each other already before, and then let you be the judge.
Yeah, just I think the 53 of Bollinger kind of went to send it in a little deep, try and make up some time on the 00 back at Brown there, and just kind of misgauged it, mistimed it, misjudged it. Got in the left rear, sent up the track, gets collected, and Adam Holston's trying to sit there and look pretty well. Not for long. Riding on board with the 53, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's a hammer, sometimes there's a nail, sometimes there's a hammer.
That's 2 hammers.
Well, you can put 2 and 2 together there, JP. That's the second incident from the 53 tonight.
Well, he was also a punt driver who just got the penalties. So Winkfield and Holston amongst those now in with significant damage. Becca Brown not elect to use the faster pair either with this caution period. So, or should I say the 00 has apparently had an issue with the faster pair. They've gone back in to try and trigger it. So, why don't we take the opportunity to talk with somebody to focus on the positive. Evan Janik, you're having an absolutely dominating race so far. How are you feeling up front?
Pretty good. Talking with my team, trying to give out as many pointers as I can, and just watching in my mirror. I missed turn 1 a couple times, and I know Isaac behind me has, so just making sure that I'm looking all the way around me to make sure that I stay out of trouble the best I can.
What is it like when it comes to driving this car, balancing the tires? Because one thing I've noticed with this car, you push too hard, you melt the tires. You underpush, you end up destroying the tires that way. How's that balance like? Trying to make sure you don't overdrive the car, while also not underdriving it as you take the one to go.
Yeah, it's really just kind of like Darlington used to be with the old car. You have to drive the track and not race everybody around you. I'm lucky that I'm up front and get a good restart every time. But you really just have to be smart and be smooth. That's the biggest thing.
Let's get to the restart here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Evan Janik in control. Send it back to FSR to talk things over once again. He's the control car here, Brayton, and so far, tempers are flaring like we're at Bristol, the way they're going.
I say we are only 1/3 of the way through this race here, JP. Only 50 laps down of 150, so still a lot of racing left.
Barnes, by the way, chose the inside again. Wilson yet again chooses the outside. Up in the top 6. You know who needs points too? Gale Punt. He's had a lot of bad luck whenever he's had track position this season. Can he make sure the car stays wrapped in bubble wrap now? Green flag is out. Gale Punt caught sleeping in the wrong gear. Leaders go.
There's really no point in trying to beat Evan Janik. I think you gotta shut up for second here tonight, unless a harder issue takes out that 71 car. He has been unbeatable on the short run, on the restart, on the long run, on the medium run. Even he'll beat you to the bathroom when he has an opportunity.
I mean, did you know there's a porta potty in the sim on the back straightaway in the track limits? If you look at the back straightaway cutout.
I can't say I've paid that much attention to the porta potty cutouts here, JP, but I will look as the field dives into 1 and 2 here. That's Isaac Wilson just missed turn 1 and about destroyed the back bumper of Evan Janik. I was left speechless.
That got a little bit nerve-wracking, to say the least. I had to take a look because remember, there's the difference between saving your tires and trying to race the track. Wilson missed a mark here. Let's say that, because he went wee to the wall.
Did a great job of getting us slowed down and slowed down, not making too much contact with the wall. There we just saw a flash of red off the back bumper of Evan Janik, and I was like, wait a second, that was a car. There's the cutout, and there's the porta potty, JP. I don't know who's using it, but they got one back there. It's probably the cleanest porta potty after a race weekend.
Some people trying to make up some ground. How about the 22 in the wall? It's a way up to the racetrack for Fisher. Just good momentum being carried by Thornton, who is amongst those who took some quick repairs. That couple lap difference seems to be helping at the very least for him. Already up to 7th.
Yeah, Fisher 0 contacted both of them in the wall back here in 1 and 2. Both of them keep it going straight. And as they rack further up the track, one driver in the grass, John Ullman, low and slow, and Caleb Hunt.
About to say that too.
There. Yeah, two incidents here, and no caution from either one.
Take a look.
0. This is the first one going to turn 1. 0, I think, is going to just absolutely send it on the 22. Got to set up the track, both the drivers do a good job at minimizing damage, and up the track, Caleb Hunt goes for a spin.
It's been the definition of Caleb Hunt season. Brown goes to 78. Tries to let it slow roll. 34 gets into the quarter panel.
And I mentioned no caution from either one of those incidents, so field is still green. Hunt and company are at risk of getting a lap, putting a lap down as Gino Belanti, 35 down pit road this time.
Repairs being done for the 35 machine. Still have more than 20 to go in the stage as we are still racing. Yes, if you're wondering, yes, we are going in this field. No one slowing down for a caution flag right now as we continue on with the race.
I think Phil got tired of pacing and said, you know what, everyone's in the grass. I need to throw a caution this time. As Evan Janik, look at the gap here. Evan Janik and Isaac Wilson within a couple of tenths. This is the closest that Wilson has been after a little bit of a run. Has a big bump there off of turn 2. So you kind of lose some gap space there to Evan Janik. And just as he got close, it slid away.
Of course, drop admission 22 colors on the race car tonight. A different look for Wilson as he slams the wall. Avoid significant damage. Was about to say, work with 6,220 families and veterans in terms of their programs Also funding $13 million worth of programs the charity has, a nonprofit, over time, working with veterans to be able to help those with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injuries, or military sexual trauma. You also have families where healing starts at home, where they work on wellness for the family, and of course the community aspect with social impact events and outreach to raise awareness for the programs to provide veterans and their families the treatments they need. Mission 22, always a very helpful cause to be able to help veterans over time, with plenty of events across the country set up alone, and this is not including, of course, sponsoring tonight's race.
Great causes, great racing going on for great winners.
Here's some roughing up. 47 up into 34. Moyer over the side of Ullman. Some Podgies over the radio. That got a little bit too archy-bargy yet again as Moyer able to hold on to it.
See, I think we've seen a lot of contact tonight. That might have been the first one I was going to applaud you.
Meanwhile, oh man, Brown, he might have to pit that thing soon. Significant damage to the nose and to the spoiler. That rear end is very demolished and is not aerodynamically sound. That car's not going to be happy. The diffuser's also damaged.
That definitely won't help the handling of that double zero machine. Already been in a lot of incidents here tonight to try and kind of make it to the finish and survive. Still on the lead lap, so he's doing a good job of that so far, but lap by lap, it seems there's another dent, another scrape, another scratch, another fender missing off that double zero machine. Of note, the 35 have Gino Volante mentioned he was coming down pit road earlier. He's still on pit road. So he's now 6 laps down.
Yeah, first DNF or DNS, not DNS, a first off track is the way to phrase it. So we'll say Bollinger from all the tempers flaring. Doing well. He's also got spoiler and right side damage. And talking about the damage, notice this car, the more hits you take to it, the worse the car handles. You have to keep the car clean at all costs. It is a battle to do so. You get this car Ron Brayton when it comes to the aerodynamics, it hurts you traumatically and dramatically. And some of these drivers try to recover some time with their clean cars. Wingfield is not one of them. He's got rear end damage.
I'm saying a big thing to watch out for, like I mentioned, any little bit of damage will hurt you big time, especially on a short run, but in the middle of this long run here, see a lot of guys are really starting to push through as long run drivers, and others definitely falling back, like Colin Bollinger, a driver that had top 5 speed. It's that little bit of damage keeps multiplying as the lap and as laps count down and the race goes on. So damage will kill you big time, as only the top 4 drivers now are within 10 seconds of Evan Janet.
Some of the yard battles start to heat up. How about the battle for second? A little bit close for comfort. And it was talked about a couple weeks ago, Wilson needed to improve if he wanted some good chances for the championship. He is showing good signs of improvement in the battle for second. He looks to try and take it from the inside. Wilson on defense.
Okay, Wilson already with a win this year, 4 stage wins as well. Currently running second. I can see that side-by-side battle going on. It's not a comfortable second.
Barnes right now 7th in the overall standings for the regular season, should say. Up to second spot. Some good passing being done by that Chevy for Calipon Racing. Less than 15 to go in the stage now as the top 2 settle it on down. It's going to be the question, though, how will these drivers play things out by stage 3? That's going to be the interesting mark when we get to stage 3, I think, Brayton. Right now, the fall-off on this track is upwards of not even a second right now. We're talking 0.6 for the leaders.
Yeah, new tires definitely won't make a huge difference here unless they're the only one on after a very long run. One driver currently on pit road, Joshua Gillen, came down 2 laps ago, has yet to leave. Got tires and the fuel and just getting some damage fixed, so might have gotten a meatball flag or just gotten to the point where the car was undrivable. So the number 10 on pit road here after starting inside the top 10 here tonight.
Right now this gap 2+ seconds over the course of this run. Give a shout out to Joshua Thornton, who's moved up to the 5th position. The Combat Warriors Outdoors machine so far, holding on despite some of the hits it's taken and the fact it's dealing with nose damage. It's been solid so far for the 29 despite the incidents. Good job by that Chevy.
They talk about survival. That's been the name of the game all night long. Just survive and put together a good run, and that's what a lot of these drivers are doing so far. And I think you'll see at the end of this race, we talked about how important damage will affect your race car. Having a clean race car in the final stage here will be a great strategy. Obviously, it's not a strategy that you can really account for, but I think that's the strategy that everyone wants to play.
I think you said it yourself there. And now we roll through, coming to 10 to go in the stage. By the way, there are cars being lapped in the mix of all things too. Right now it's Caleb Hunt, who is the lucky dog. You also have a few other drivers that are zipping by Hunt in this battle pack. You have Ullman, you have Bollinger, you have Winkfield, who's running that very high groove. You have 3 different ways these people are driving the track too. Some just trying to slow roll the bottom, some trying to go 3rd line, then diamond down, some trying to use the middle line in terms of the diamond in 3 and 4.
They mentioned there's a lot of options in your run Roadwide Technology Raceway here as far as the different lines you can run in the corner. Each one will work, what you're trying to do. So it's an awesome track for multi-groove racing, but I think everyone right now wants to do or figure out at least what Evan Janik is doing. It is working and is working well as he pulls away to an almost 2-second advantage, less than 10 laps to go on the stage.
Big wiggle just now for the 27. Some credits for a good save, and we mentioned these cars can get loose out of 4. It got really loose all of a sudden for Barnes.
So yeah, definitely a pucker factor Zulu moment. Doesn't really lose that much time though, as there was a very big gap between him and the next pack of cars behind him. I don't think he actually even lost the spot. Yeah, I mean, he lost the Isaac Wilson spot, but should be able to maybe go back and battle for that. But Andrew Allen, 5 seconds behind him still.
Downside is that wiggle cost him up to 10 car lengths to the back end of the 93. Keep an eye on everything's going on. Bollinger, we talked about him trying to close up. Now, John Ullman's season, seen him up and down during his performance, to say the very least. For Ullman, though, looking to try and see if he can get a decent finish in the stage at least. 12 starts, no stage wins, no playoff points for the 34, but he is 6th in points scored so far in the regular season.
Which of note, mentioned damage and how crucial that is. Bollinger is dealing with a ton of right side damage on that 53 machine, both in the front, rear, and on the doors, it seems. So it's not quite firing on all cylinders.
Bit of the death wiggle for Bollinger. About 5 to go, coming up at the stripe. Is one of those races he's become. Beckett Brown, by the way, has just had more issues. That car has taken more crumples up because they just spun down the back straightaway. Looks like the 00 is peeling in.
We have to see what the strategy call is here and see if it's going to put some tires on, maybe some damage fixed. See the incident there. There's no meatball flag after a hard hit though. So I definitely see the reason for pulling it in. I'm surprised there isn't a meatball flag on that 00 machine.
Probably lost a cylinder from a hard hit right there as Aaron Espy was way slow in that same corner. He has taken the one faster pair now for the first time tonight after absolutely decimating that car.
Of note, Caleb Hunt just got lapped, so that will take a lucky dog position away from Beckett Brown, and Aaron Espy as well also just now getting lapped. So we're starting to lap a couple cars. Jared Knopfsnyder next up on the chopping block, and Janik is only a couple car lengths behind him.
That is a teammate, by the way, to the 71. So it becomes a question, do you lap your teammate, Brayton, and put them in the lucky dog spot? Or do you give them the saving grace and just ride? Two of your teammates, in fact, are at risk of losing a lap.
I think you have to sit there and kind of look at where Aaron Espy is at. Knopfsnyder, though, might not even have a choice. Gets a little loose there. And that's going to close Evan Janik up big time. So that Janik will not give him any favors. We'll pass the 82 down and back straightaway here. I was going to say, if you wanted to give Aaron Espy the wave round, the stage caution, then you wouldn't lap your teammate there, but he's going to. That settles that. Adam Holston next up in line. That should be the last car at risk of getting a lap. Coming to 2 to go in the stage.
Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed for the stage.
Let's see if Adam Holston hangs on here. He is giving this Amos literally everything that he's got. What's going to be important here is making sure that the 82 of Knopfsnyder does not get around you and take that lucky dog spot. He'll actually block Janik up the racetrack a little bit. And he'll hang on to that spot for now. Come to the white flag in the stage here.
One to go in the stage. Will Holston get a chance to hold on? Oh, there was a lift there on the straightaway. Janik at least giving the 8 a shot here. But it's going to be close to see what he does. He's been letting the car really roll on turn 2 exit. But it's been domination station regardless. The gap down to 1 second. Not going to matter much with all the cars in between. Janik will take the run through 3 and 4. Take it cleanly. Stages 1 and 2 going to Evan Janik. He's able to win the stage over a hard-charging Wilson. Barnes in 3rd, Allen in 4th. Thornton, the top 5. Separation between them about half a racetrack.
10th stage win of the season for the 71.
Dominating run this season. Take a step aside. We come back. More coverage. You're watching Ballin TV for tonight's coverage of Mystic Racing League. Janik so far has led them all.
Underneath the moon's soft glow, our hearts entwined, we didn't know. A love so pure, a bond so true, but fate had other plans for me and you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Gateway. More coverage of tonight's action. Mission 22 150. Mystic Racing League in its Cup Series. Janik so far has been outright dominant. He's off and away. Andrew Allen, the first to choose the bottom. Allen with a great restart, but can he hold on the second? Barnes says, I'm going to try at least. Allen holds on for now, and a big slide in the pack. Wilson having some problems there. That holds Wilson up and costs him some time.
And no shakeup up front, though. It's still the Evan Janik show, pulling away from Andrew Allen and company. 222 way up the racetrack. Jeffrey Fisher trying to reel it in, and he's going to lose a ton of spots and stuck in the back of the field here.
Still lots of racing to go here. We'll be racing to the end from this point forward. Back at Brown on screen, trying to find a way to poke. Holston getting very loose as Moyer lets him go. Bottom for second.
See Christian Barnes sitting it in deep. We've seen how good Barnes is on fresh tires. As Kawasaki was out to the front here to the side by side for a second, pushes Andrew Allen up the track. Allen gets a run down the front straightaway at the line. Allen has the position, but going turn one will be Christian Barnes sitting it deep on the inside.
Bullet stick.
Pass-through penalty on the 53.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call against Bollinger. Remember, he's had a couple incidents today. Apparently, he just crossed the line in an incident involving Isaac Wilson. He has been removed from the race.
Tried to fight the penalty, and they said, you know what, you're done for the night. They parked him. Here's the incident. It's just kind of making it through. Got into the 93 a little bit. Actually, 93 got into him.
So a rough moment for the 53. He's been running part-time this season. Starts bleeding over the radio, but obviously it's too late. Trouble, caution, 00, 34. And a huge slide kill up into the wall.
Here comes the back half of the field, all trying to slow it down. 22 Fisher barely gets it slowed before making contact, but John Ullman around, pouring out the caution, the first caution of stage number 3.
Yoel Beckett-Brown yet again. As watch 34 got loose and nowhere for the 00 to go now. But again, they gave fault to the 00. Had the wiggle, and this all started after the 34 made the pass high side.
The 00 just got that pass repair a couple laps ago, hitting the inside wall, and finally had a very competitive piece. A little too competitive, it looks like, sends it deep on the 34. Doesn't really make contact till the 34 gets loose by himself, and so more damage to the front end of that freshly fixed 00.
Yeah, Ullman definitely got loose in that situation, it looked like. But we still have 61 laps to work with. And now with the fuel mileage, keep in mind, there has to be a pit stop at the very least, you'd think, in this stage. Now it's going to matter, how long do you go with this fuel mileage in this situation? How long do you try and stretch it?
That's a great point. 61 laps to go, so this is going to be the longest run of the night if we keep it clean and green from here, as you mentioned, Neil. How long can you stretch out fuel runs? See a lot of guys coming in for damage, a lot of guys popping off low at the same time, so we'll have to see how it plays out.
Hunt taking some damage repair after a slap to the left side of the car. Brett Wren, by the way, is still running. Still 5 laps down as multiple people have fallen 1 down. His situation. Already coming to 1 in shoes in this one. To get ready for another restart. So as they get all sorted again, somebody has to do something. to keep up with the 71. Can anybody find a way to get that pace like the 71 has outside of Isaac Wilson?
It's going to be hard. I don't think they're going to do it tonight, though, unless something happens to the 71. We've seen how a couple close calls already. I think it'll be a green light checkered scenario, though, where someone sends it deep on the 71 of Janik to make the move, and that's about the only way to be able to beat them.
Here they come to the choose. Allen chooses the inside. Barnes once again on the outside. For the most part, pretty staggered choices on the choose. So, give a shout out to Rayshon Wingfield. He's in the conversation for the top 5 again. A lot of people have had some bobbles tonight. A lot of people have some tempers. Let's take a look at those playoff standings one more time. Remember, drivers like Wingfield are part of those who picked up wins earlier this season. And when Wingfield's been solid, he's been matching the speed of the leader. Andrew Allen, still the highest of those not to get a win, is in the conversation for the race lead here.
You mentioned win, and you're in, so looking to see if maybe we can pull an upset one out of the hat. So far, Evan Janik looks to extend that streak of dominance.
Race control just issued a warning. With everything going on the racetrack, a stern warning to clean things up, to put it straight forward. We'll see how this restart now goes. Green flag is out. Thornton gives a bop to the back end of Allen. Allen has a great restart. In fact, the best restart for the inside line all night. But he elects to let it roll into the corner. Slows on up as Barnes tries to play defense on side by side for 4th. Oh, what a contact hit for Thornton. Up into the traffic and in Wilson.
Good thing that porta potty is there, JP, as the rest of the field is trying to prevent some brown stains and work around the wrecked traffic here in turn 3.
Cautions breed cautions. Let's take a look.
We'll have a couple code brown moments here.
That doesn't ring well after the message on the radio just a moment ago. Just corrects into traffic right into the opening.
That was the 93 of Isaac Wilson, who's been one of the more competitive, more fast cars all night long.
Very tough break for Wilson, who's on the recovery from the issue earlier. Let's just say people not happy as right into the door.
What a wreck, though. I see the rest of the field definitely slide in there, a couple with their own code brown moments. But we've talked about the opening a little bit tonight, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone get hit into the opening.
Yeah, it's a rarity. But we do have two green. Why don't we take the opportunity to speak with one of the drivers that's doing well here as several people come down pit road. See if we get the chance to talk with Christian Barnes. Christian, you're up in the top 3. You've been a top 2 driver much of the night here. Now with the troubles with Wilson, how are you feeling at 27?
I feel pretty good. I feel like the long run, I'm definitely as fast, if not a little faster than Janik. I just got to get better at these restarts. I feel like if I can get past the 96 on the restart, I feel like I can have something for him, but I just got to figure out these restarts.
What's the balance been like so far on the tires too, to make sure you don't cook the tires? I know you've had to battle a fair bit so far with Allen for the 2nd spot.
Yeah. It can step out at really any point if you overdo it just a little bit. The balance has been pretty good. Just need to, not step over that edge, and I think I'll be all right.
So how are you going to get this job done to get to the 71 and make a pass? Because that seems to have been a mammoth moment to try and do.
I just got to get the 2nd on this restart. And unfortunately, they just swapped where they're going, so it might be a little more difficult now, but I just got to get the second as early as I can.
Were you expecting that swap there by Allen to go there and the change of pace for the 7-1?
Not at all. Definitely confused things a little bit, but I think I'll clear the 23 out off the corner, and then I'll just have to set my sights on the 96.
Let you get to focusing for the restart. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.
Christian Barnes getting ready for a restart. And that was a change of pace there. Wondered if they were listening to the interview and said, you know what, I'm going to throw this 27 off the pace here.
It's going to be 55 laps to go.
Coming to 54.
Even better.
Track temperature is dropping too, so more and more grip being added to this circuit on top of the rubber buildup. Here we go on the restart. Janik this time, one on the inside. Green flag is out, timed up really well. Almost looked like Wingfield had the count. Good restart for Wingfield, but he lets Allen have the better run outside. Barnes did not get anything on the restart he needed.
Now Wingfield, bit of a bobble there on corner exit, going to open the door for Christian Barnes to make up some time after that restart. Barnes slides into third, Wingfield falls back down to fourth, and Barnes looking to the outside now for second.
Wingfield wraps the bottom, Allen pulls away. Oh, this is while Barnes just tries to hold on to third in a wrestling match with the change of the lineup. Looks like Wingfield showing why he's got a fast car tonight. To be able to compete here, he's now on the door. Bit of a drift up as Barnes had a low line. That gets the job done for third.
And now Wingfield will fall back down there to that fourth position. Adam Holston closing that gap up. Holston been a survivor, I guess. Tonight's been involved in a couple incidents, I believe, but rebounding very nicely, currently running inside the top 5.
Yeah, right now things settling on in. Question is, how long will the settling go on in? Or will things become like a souffle where one big sound will pop the souffle and make it deflate in terms of the run? That's the metaphor of the night. As right now, it's the matter of making sure you don't see that pop that you see of this race blow up. Right now, Barnes is looking for second to pop his way up a spot.
Barnes trying to put the pizza in the oven, trying to pull it out. But I don't think he's losing here. I don't think he's pulling out. I don't think he's burning. Might be his tires if he continues to fight for second. Sending it in deep there in turn 1 and 2 on Andrew Allen. Didn't get the spot, but he's fighting hard for it. This would definitely hurt his tires on the long run here.
Right now, that's going to be the tough thing. You need a cushion to cool down the tires, and the problem is, second to ask, can I have a cushion? You have someone like Wingfield who just drives around the outside and makes the pass yet again. Adam Holston also showing improvement, is also in this top 5 fight.
Jared Snyder looks to be hitting or parking it. Not sure what's happening to the 82, but he is done for the night. He said he pulls off to the inside and he takes it to the garage, and Jared Snyder is running just outside the top 10. He is done for the night.
Snyder had a huge wiggle out of turn 4, destroyed his front tires. He reset. Wants to take full tow. Wingfield with a big bobble. Barnes trying to retake the spot. Having to get the elbows out and try and elbow someone out like a hockey player.
Got 4 cars here all fighting for one spot. One driver though not part of this battle as is Evan Janik, who's pulled away to an almost 2-second lead as his battle for second continues on.
By the way, they removed the EOL that was originally called on the 00. He ended up deciding to park it for the night for the previous incident. So that's the current update involving Becca Brown. He is now out of the race. Just wondering about that penalty situation came out of the corner. The 53 was parked for unsportsmanlike conduct. For those tuning in, that was for radio and language calls. SB contact with Thornton, turn 4. The 16 nearly got turned just now as we continue to see the battle by the 3rd spot still for the 23, and he now gets turned.
Formula sliding down the track, goes in the grass, no caution flag yet. He's still down there. He rejoins in the pit road access lane. Gets back rolling. I doubt we'll see a caution.
We stay green. And oh boy, that's all you can really say. Bit of a squeeze, and Barnes knew at this time he needed the spot. Well, he was on the rumble strips trying to give him space.
I don't know what they could have done there. Tight racing here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. But I was set the 23 race on when he goes back quite a ways.
Chaos reign is all you can say to that end. 46 laps to go in Wakefield. It's been dropped all the way down to 7th. That's going to be a mammoth of an effort. We have to close up for Eric Carr now at this point. Speaking of Thornton, already has had some contact this run. That front end is demolished. Somebody just went to the inside wall hard. We stay green as Fisher cut hard to the inside of the backdrop and slammed the left side of his car in.
We're at the point of the race where, hey, you can knock a front bumper off and it won't hurt it too bad. You got less than 50 laps to go. 22, we talked about him a little bit here tonight. Yeah, that definitely will bang some fenders in. It's a hard hit to the inside wall. He's coming down pit lane right here, JP. Going to try and get some of that damage fixed.
Of note, Isaac Wilson just joined the DNF list. Interesting enough, Brayton, one of the contenders for the race win, no longer on the circuit. As we keep on this run, Holston celebrated birthday earlier this week, as mentioned. He so far has been having a good birthday week in terms of speed, at least tonight.
Mentioned how he was one of the survivors of tonight so far. Has been a driver who's just kind of picking up spots where he can, not being involved in too many incidents, and definitely showing his speed here late in the race when it matters most. As trouble in the back, Aaron Ashby gets into Alan Zukov. Zukov into the grass. No caution yet, but trouble off of turn number 2 here. Of no, Isaac Wilson also parking it. So
Just
outside front row, starter Wilson done. Ashby and Zukov involved in this incident here.
that clean car didn't last long for the 16. Trying to battle with the 29, pushes up on the wall. And right there is Ashby in position to get spun. Or rather, spin around the 91.
So the Isaac Wilson DNF got loose coming through 3 and 4. Smoked the outside wall. Parked it for the night before caution could come out.
That leaves us just with 10 on the lead lap. Barnes said he thought he had chances to win this race based on the speed. Well, the tough thing is he's 4 seconds back this run. 35.9 last time by. The leader is in the 34.1s.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to match Evan Jenner. Going to have to do something different. I don't know what that different is. But it's up to the 10 drivers remaining, or the other 9 drivers remaining to find out.
It's an upward battle now with the race car and with the tires. Fast repairs, by the way, Holston, the highest running of those who have had to take a mulligan on their damage repair here tonight. Everybody else, 8th on down, has come down at least once.
Yeah, it's hard to go fast when you got dented in fenders, missing fenders, destroyed suspension components. So, mentioned survival of the fittest. We saw those early cautions that kind of set the tone of the race. Hey, to finish first must finish, and we've seen every driver make a mistake tonight except Evan Janik. We'll see if he makes it in the final 39 laps here.
Birthday driver yet again, MSP. Decent recovery in terms of the running order. 9th position for the 16 machine. And it's been another one of those upward battles we mentioned here tonight. It's a new paint scheme when it comes to his design. Got Stephen Gill to give him this design. And looking to make it sparkle with the Ty Dillon throwback. Well, Ty Dillon with a mix of Austin Dillon if you look at the sponsors.
It is a Bass Pro, very beautiful Bass Pro scheme. It's hard to make a bad looking Bass Pro shop scheme. I about said a bad pro. Sometimes I'm too funny for my own good, JP.
Sometimes you're so funny that the laughs just don't come out. Yes.
Thank you.
Owen Barnes slaps the wall down. Major damage at least to 27. Oh, you just got a black flag.
Well, black flag out to the non-driving machine. I didn't even know it showed that, so I'm glad my joke is that good.
But hey.
You think they'll take my hard card away, JP?
Hey, I wish I had a hard card for NASCAR. Or hard card. But hey, for those who don't know, hard card it's basically your permission to get to the racetrack, but the hard card security can give you a hard time, to put it quite simply.
And they will pull it away from you in a heartbeat.
How about some second place battling? That was a little bit close for Comfort Allen. He hit the wall with how much he squeezed there on Barnes.
And Barnes definitely pushing his hard card to the limit, pushing that car hard. Trying to make some ground up on Andrew Allen. These two have been the class of the field for everybody except Evan Janik. We've had a lot of speed. Very rarely have they found themselves this close to one another in an empty space with really no one around to put pressure on one another. And Barnes sending it deep on the inside on the rumble strips. Gonna upset that car a little bit. He'll lose and drive off. You see the gap, that's Adam Holston behind him, and then a huge gap behind Holston.
Got the buffer to battle. Obviously Barnes wanting to try and get as high as he can. As Allen, the death wiggle, able to get out of it. And there goes the 27 up to second.
Could have been a lot worse there for Andrew Allen. Keeps it going straight on all fours and minimizes the amount of time lost. We've seen a lot of guys have trouble there off the turn 2 and destroy their race cars.
Time, Allen at least avoiding that death. Still 5 seconds back of the leader. That's going to be something now for Barnes. He is running lap times a 10th off the leader as things go at the moment. So we continue on with the calm racing here around the racetrack. We are down to 14 cars running. For those tuning in, it's been up and down in terms of the tempo. Now it's the long run of the race. When do you pit now has to come back into mind again, Brayton. We mentioned before, but the cautions is a bit different. Now you're talking about a run 36 laps deep for some of these cars, 23 laps or so in the run itself.
Well, we got one stop in the grass here, JP. No caution yet. I saw the smoke there. And it's Caleb Hunt who's parked down there and tows it. So no caution flag from that. And so we'll have to see what happened, though. Now leave us. Well, Hunt was already a lap down.
Barnes, by the way, has turned on the fastest lap of the racetrack movement. Here's the thing. Barnes, to get up to the leader, is going to have to be the fastest lap the rest of the way. But the way things are going, he lost time last time by.
That I can mention, JP, though, you know, still a lot of racing now, 31 laps to go. What did they do differently? Mentioned, you know, we're over 30 laps into the runs. They're going to be a true testament to who is a better long-run driver, who saved their stuff up. And really, do they have enough fuel in the tank? I would imagine they have enough fuel. only 60-ish% fuel capacity in these cars. So I'm not sure what they're looking at, to be honest, but I'd imagine fuel not too much of a concern, but we'll have to wait and see. They might prove me wrong, and lap traffic though is about to...
Trouble, race leader Janik just had to punt a lap car out of the way. Apologies over the radio as Zukov was running high, and so was the leader.
I was gonna say lap traffic about to play a bit of a part here, and a part it played indeed.
Race control had just said to the lap cars, keep an eye on the leader. 1 second later, he's running high side.
Here, yeah, 91 of Zukov is slowed down to not run over Brett Wren, and I don't think Janik quite got the memo. So mentioned, all it takes is a little oopsie, little mistake from Evan Janik, and his race, perfect race so far, can be ruined. A little front nose contact, well, it won't hurt him that bad, and there's no visible damage on the front end of that 71. But another big mistake like that from another lapped car by chance. You got a couple of them coming up here in a couple laps time. A lot there, but it can change in the blink of an eye.
That shoot the gap down a bit. You see that interval went down 0.6 with the traffic management, by the way. Janik doesn't appear to have any damage. Pit stops coming up. John Ullman just called a pit stop, and that means our window is open.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would be an issue. We'll have to see if it's a tire strategy, if it's a fuel call, if it's a little bit of both. We'll have to see who comes in with Ullman here. But Ullman going for the undercut here. It was about 15 or so seconds behind Janik. Have to make up a ton of time on fresh tires. And mentioned fall off though is not a big part of the picture here.
No issues into the pit stall here. Hearing that, Thornton will join him into the pit lane this upcoming time by. And you don't want to leave this pit stop too late. Mind you, the fall off for at least the top drivers, not even 1 second tonight in these setups. That is astounding.
Track keeps getting cooler and cooler as we get later into the afternoon / early evening, so that will help a fall off in speeds overall big time as Ullman, first starter off the pit road here. We'll have to see where he starts to cycle out. Actually, I'm interested. It'll be interesting to see what times he's turning on fresh tires as the track has gotten a little bit cooler.
The thing is, no matter what the pit stop call here, Janik's got the cushion to be able to make any pit stop call work with how big the interval is. He can have 4 lap fresher tires if he wants and still probably hold on to the race lead as things go on compared to Barnes.
And Barnes not yet down the pit road. Not yet making the call. So Ullman's going to run 3 and 4. We'll have to see what his lap time is, if it's anything worth writing home about. Lap time for the 34 is a 34.454 on fresh tires, almost identical to Evan Janik's time. Literally 4,000 seconds separating the two.
Not a good run for the 34 on the freshies, yeah. But
see, they kind of come to him a little bit. Might just take some time to warm up, but we'll have to wait and see. That time by Evan Janik, a 34.57, so a little bit slower. As Ullman completes another lap at a 34.4 flat. So the gap is separating a little bit. We'll have to see if it's enough to change the tide of this race, though. I don't think it will be for Ullman. It might be for someone like Christian Barnes or Andrew Allen.
by the way, Barnes is in pit road. Pit party is open. Battle is on for second on track now, but now this is it for the 27. Now, how long will the leader go?
It's side by side for second, but the real race there with Barnes on pit road. To see Andrew Allen, Adam Holston. Andrew Allen diving down this time here from the second spot. He'll join Christian Barnes. A 13-second pit stop for Barnes. That's pretty fast for 4 tires and fuel. Let's see how well they do getting on and off pit road as well. That's going to be a big part of it as well.
Here in the 35, will now join them down pit road. By the way, we're within second for Barnes. 1 lap, so at the very least, the leaders will lose that 1 lap when they come in. Moyer just called for a pit stop coming up here after losing a spot. Janik continues on his quest on the track. And it's still in his court how he wants to play things.
14.5-second pit stop for Andrew Allen. So he's going to lose a second and a half almost on the pit stop alone. It's not why he needed them. I tell you, Barnes might have put himself in a really good spot here, especially as Evan Janik continues to stay out. He mentioned someone's got to do something differently, and that might be the different call for Christian Barnes to put himself in a great spot to find victory lane here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. All we can do is wait.
Time ticks away as the AER car is in. Adam Holston is in. Brent Wren also in for this time around. Down to 19 laps to turn. Wingfield and Janik are basically the only cars to really keep going here. Interesting enough, Thornton also in that category, I believe. Also, he had some issues. So, highest running of those who completed full service is Barnes. It's on the other side of the racetrack. There was the 8 car off and away, no issues on the pit stop. Valenti very slow, just nearly came to a stop on the track.
Christian Barnes last lap at 33.65. Evan Janik at 34.74. Say Janik is continuing to bleed time here. I think he's maybe hoping for a caution or trying to wait for Christian Barnes to put some wear and tear on that rubber. That's his 3 cars left to pit. Evan Janik, Rayshon Wingfield, and Josh Laporte. His 3 cars left under these laps.
Holston's in the wall. Holston the wrong way around. He was about to enter pit road, it looks like. Holston brings out the yellow with just 3 cars on a lead lap.
Well, mentioned Evan Janik needed a yellow. I think to kind of help him out here, and well, he's going to get it.
Holston spins it around in 3 and 4 right off of pit road. Full tires, giveth.
So here's where it gets interesting, because Evan Janik will pit with Ringfield and Thornton, and then everyone else will have to stay out to take the wave around and forfeit the opportunity to come down to pit for new tires.
Yeah, this really jumbles up the entire running order.
Like I said, that was literally 110% what Evan Janik needed to still kind of be in the fight. I think he was still going to be in the fight regardless, but right there was kind of leaning towards Christian Barnes.
Interesting flip of the switch. By the way, you're a lucky dog. This caution is Aaron Espy as Holston just crashed on the front straightaway again. So 4 are on the lead lap officially. The rest of the field will have to come around and take the wave arounds as the 71, I believe, just played things different. Did they just take fuel only? They took fuel only. I mean, you've been dominant on the set, I guess, why not? That's a challenge.
The only thing I can maybe... Janet coming back down pit lane? Question mark? Yes? Did he not have... Maybe, JP, he was shooting for only a fuel-only pit stop under green to minimize time lost. He was going to pit as late as he possibly could, minimize time lost on getting tires. So only take a gallon or two, he would have picked up, 7 or 8 seconds. And maybe forgot to check his tires.
Oh man. So the 71 is coming down. They are still trying to sort the lineup, mind you. As there we go, should see him up on the jacks now, in theory. So this is going to be a big question. So now it leads to the question, let's see if we can speak with him real quickly. Evan, what just happened?
Well, figured I'd take tires since a lot of the cars were lapped down. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it's just really wild the way it turned out.
Were you originally planning on not taking tires if it stayed green? Was that why you
stayed green? Yeah. When I was on pit road, I was gonna take right side only, just because that's probably what it would have taken to. Hang on, they're going through the lineup. Yeah, but I was planning on taking right sides.
Just like you get sorted out here as they're coming up to the choose already here. First time you're in dirty air all night, how do you going to approach this now? Because now you have to make your first passes all night for position.
Just careful. I mean, I am confident in my speed. I just have to make sure that the people in front of me don't wreck, and to be able to pass them and hopefully come away with another win. Going for 4 in a row.
Once you get to the restart, good luck.
Thank you.
Avjanik, great context. He was planning on 2 tires. That second time around, it appears, was him saying there's not a lot of cars in the lead lap, Braden, so why not take the tires instead?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think he had a strategy under green and just maybe forgot to change his black box settings there. Now that you mentioned, though, he'll be in dirty air for the first time tonight. We'll have to see how it works out for him. I said it was going to be a light race caution to shake things up, as the field is still trying to get sorted.
Field still trying to figure out where they need to line up here.
Most of the field will be on the inside, considering all but 3 cars, or all but 4, I think, took a wave around. One of them did take a lucky dog. So most of the field will be on the inside line here. There's going to be about a 12 or 13 car deep inside line and only 2 or 3 guys on the outside.
So we're going to try this again. It's Wakefield and Thornton on the front row. It's Janik next. Then it's the wave arounds after that. Christian Barnes is the first of those on the old tires. Coming to 11 to go. It's going to get wild for when they get down the front straightaway. A lot of cars still haven't coiled up for the restart.
And you can't go to the outside to cross the line either. It's only 2 cars on the outside. It's a 23 and a 71, and it's 29 on the bottom.
Here we go. Thornton trying to jump it. Thornton jumped it. Tries to side draft Wakefield. Doesn't work in the restart zone. Green flag back of the air. As now Thornton gets passed by the 71. Barnes loses time. And the battle is on for the lead. Janik having a better run coming out of turn 2. Has the point. A chance to the point. Now for the 71 to the race lead.
Side by side, coming to 10 laps to go, but not for long. It's Evan Janik prevailing in just one green flag lap. The 23 tries to claw back on the inside. He'll get side by side down the straightaway. And he'll receive a penalty, comes out for the 23 possibly.
Can Wingfield do anything to stop the run of the 71? Janik, good exit off of 2. Wingfield gets in line. Janik to the point with 10 laps to go.
At this point, Evan Janik sticking his hand out the window saying, bye guys, have a great time. Driving off into the sunset, Evan Janik goes. The rest of the field is still trying to start up behind him as one driver, Andrew Allen, hits the inside wall. Slow run down the straightaway, no caution yet.
We stay green after the slide. They keep on going with how things go. Some battling with Barnes, now passing by Thornton. That's now put him into third. A chance for a podium here for the 27 with all things considered.
Christian Barnes trying to finish a great night here on the podium. Second back up from Wingfield to finish second, but I think we'll be content with the third place finish here tonight.
New fastest lap. Evan Janik, trouble, turn 2. Wingfield bobbles it this time, and he loops it. Barnes misses the incident. Now Wingfield is stopped in the middle of the racetrack, no caution. Now the caution waves as one crashes at Ullman.
So a little late there on your yellow flag, took the field getting by for it to come out. As Ullman, though, like you mentioned, crashed after the fact. I think that is what brought out the yellow. Turn 2's has been a trouble spot all night for a ton of these guys.
Wild moment once again. Let's take a look at where all things sparked up. The 96 started off the chaos. Right, here's a look at the replay. Thought that was going to be the bobble originally, but this is where Ullman goes for a ride.
Some basic maneuvers, gets it left rear into the grass, into the outside wall. Actually, I think there was that contact sign on the track brought the actual caution out. Just someone said, hey, sorry for the late caution there, camera didn't quite see it, so. Did a great job of avoiding wreck. Didn't do a great job of not becoming part of it.
Cautions, precautions. Janik now the leader, but Wingfield, at the very least, still in range for top 5, all things considered. I will say this 23, very lucky he wasn't slammed into at that angle on the racetrack.
It's been a fun night of racing, and well, we mentioned it will be a green white checkered or a light race restart that shake things up for Evan Janik, and well, we're almost to that point, JP.
So we're coming up to 5 laps to go. And now it gets interesting because Barnes, on older tires, mind you, is right where he's wanted to be. In second, coming to the 1 and shoes, a 4-lap dash, Brayton. The 27 is going to have to push like mad if they want a shot here.
Definitely going to literally give it everything you've got if you want a chance at beating Evan Janik straight up here. We've seen guys get the fenders a little rough earlier in the race. Well, if you got them rough early, you might as well get them rough late.
See Joshua Thornton, by the way, biggest mover on the night, despite all the damages, still up double-digit positions here in this one. Now gets to start in the second row. So all set to go, 13 cars still running, 9 are on the lead lap. Barnes is really backing things up on the inside. This is gonna get wild. 4 laps to go for the Mission 22 150. It's Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. Pace car drops off. Field is set. Are you set to go racing? Green, green, green. Just a couple more laps around. Barnes did not go. And even bigger, the 29 flies. A blown motor up in the pack. SB, Holston, Allen all crashed. The cautions out. Green, white checker territory.
3, 4, 5 cars involved. Joshua Thorne restarting fourth there, got the worst of it. Flew into the outside wall. Did some spins like a ballerina on his lid and came to a stop in turn 1 before getting tow after this incident right here. Christian Barnes didn't get the restart that he wanted. 29 goes to the outside. The 47 is there. Gets shot down the track and into the pit wall. And that is all Thornton needed to get launched airborne.
A rough angle of the hit. Came up, then came down, and now up and over. Holston amongst those who took some hard hits once again. The 8, 3 laps down already.
Say that you mentioned is going to set us up for green-white checker territory, though.
Nowhere to go with SP up the track. So this is now officially green white checker territory. Unlimited GWCs in the Mystic Racing League, remember. So I have to take the white flag to be able to have the race end here. It's going to be important to make sure you get to that point. And now, it seems it's a given with Janik, but everything else is up for grabs for second on back of this race parade, and it's not a guarantee that our finishing order remains the same for 2 laps here.
Yeah, definitely going to shake a lot of things up here, especially if we get a little close to not as many cars being able to hang with the guys up front. And I mentioned you won't be able to save a set of tires till the very end if you can. Well, if you got a set of tires, you're not, your top 3 or 4 guys, come on down, throw those tires on and see what you got.
Tonight also brought to you in part, by the way, by Sofa News. I thank them for their support of this series, the official news source for the Mystic Racing League. It's time to choose. Outside again for car 71. Christian Barnes, the first to choose the inside once again. Now it's going to be the curious part. Where will things go? David Moyer is third as we run. What a night this would be in the points for him if he's able to hold on here.
That's going to be a big if. Evan Janik on the outside. It'll be Christian Barnes looking for the restart of his life here, trying to find victory lane. He's been right there. He's been so close all night long. About to see if he's able to pull some magic out of the hat here when he needs to most.
A 2-lap dash to decide the Mission 22 150 here at Gateway. Janik's led just about every single lap tonight in the 71. He looks to do it again. He looks to try and win again. Looking for win number 5. Green flag is out. Great restart again for the 71. Poor one for the 47. Barnes already clear as Winkfield sees Moyer nearly hit the back end of Barnes. Up the track, Winkfield takes the spot.
Hey, that Christian Barnes hangs on the second Wingfield, trying to hunt him down like a dog during duck season. Nothing no one can do, though, to catch Evan Janik. Evan Janik riding the sunset, coming to the white flag.
To take the white flag, the race is to the checkers. Can they get there? Wingfield trying to get there for second, just about looped it. White flag is out. Final time around here from Gateway. Janik tries to hold on for one more time around as Barnes goes way up the track.
I'll open the door for the 23 Wingfield. He'll slide up. He'll try to take the spot. Christian Barnes will slide into the wall side by side for a second as Evan Janik racing into victory lane through 3 and 4 for the final time here.
Still side by side. Will Wingfield get the edge? Coming out of 4. Janik take the checker flag and win at Gateway. Barnes and Wingfield crash for second, hard to the inside wall. Barnes holds off Wingfield as they both slam into the wall.
Hey, Wingfield third, Andrew Allen finishes fourth, and John Ullman, who finishes tonight in fifth. David Moyer sixth. Alan Zukov, their last driver, on the lead lap in seventh. So a very hard-fought battle there for second, but ultimately it's Evan Janik coming out on top. It leads all of about 3 or 4 laps during that caution pit cycle.
The aggression level was high in that battle for second. It boiled over with Wingfield really wanting second.
Here's a replay of this battle for second. Barnes gets run off of turn 4. Wingfield starts to kind of run up the track, runs out of room, and at that point, nothing neither one of them could have done.
That being said, we'll take a break. If we come back, more coverage. You're watching the Mission 22 150 here from the Mystic Racing League on Ballin TV. It's Evan Janik that will get to burn it on down here at Gateway.
Drop it.
Welcome to tonight's coverage of Ballin TV. Once more, having coverage, I should say, of the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series. Let's take a look at your unofficial race results, where Evan Janik takes the win in dominating fashion. Christian Barnes comes away second over Rayshawn Wingfield. Andrew Allen finished in fourth, John Ullman in fifth, Moyer, Zukov, Fisher, Espy, and Holston, your top 10.
Looking down the running order, Joshua Thornton there in 11th, Brett Wynn in 12th. I don't think Brett spent a single lap outside the first one on the lead lap after that lap 1 incident. Still finished to low 6 laps down. Gino Volante in 13th, Caleb Hunt 14th, Isaac Bush 15th, Jared Knopp Snyder in 16th, Beckett Brown at 0, while rough go around for him in 17th, Colin Bollinger in 18th, and Joshua Gillen in 19th, 88 laps down.
That's all top to bottom at the running order tonight here from Worldwide Technology Raceway here at Gateway. Where in the end, it's Evan Janik who puts on a dominating performance. Evan puts up the most laps led by far, all but a couple. Evan, 5 wins on the season. How do you respond to that with how much momentum you've been able to build up as of recent?
Yeah, you never go into a race thinking you're the favorite. Anything can happen, but being able to put up the results definitely feels good. The beginning of the year was a little rough for me. The super speedways are just haven't been able to find my luck, but we've been hitting a full stride, so really thankful for that.
What's it been like trying to sort things out and make sure you learn with this car as well? What's been the learning process been like with this car this season as you've gotten better and better as the season's gone on?
I don't think it's the car. I think it's learning the people you're driving against. If I'm out front, you are looking in the mirror, seeing where they're running, trying to take away their line because dirty air is huge in these cars. And if you're behind them, you're running wherever they're not. You got to get clean air on your nose to make these things work to go under the car. So, racing people really helps. And racing around the same people every week, you start to learn their tendencies and what they do. So it makes stuff a lot easier.
Next race is Pocono. Your thoughts on the Pocono Mountains?
I really enjoy it. I've been there a few times in real life and enjoy the races. It's a strong track for me, so I'm expecting another good finish.
Anyone who want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, thank you to Dig Safe for coming on. It's a new sponsor on my street stock, so figured I'd put them on here. Thank you to Super Oil Pros for their sponsorship as well. Thank you to 5 Star Racing. Thank you to 9222 Designs for making all my paints, including this beautiful scheme.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you.
Evan Janik comes away with a race win tonight. Second spot tonight goes to Christian Barnes. He is with Brayton Laster.
Christian, you had a side-by-side battle. You end the race in the wall, sliding cross the line as you and Rayshon Wingfield duke it out there. But ultimately, though, as JP said, you come home second place tonight. Was there anything you could have done differently to beat Evan Janik?
If that caution didn't come out, I think I would have came out ahead of him. And yes, he would have had fresher tires, but I think I could have held him off. Especially with the Xfinity race yesterday, it was basically the same thing. He had fresher tires, and I was able to hold him off for a while. So I feel like if that caution didn't come out, probably could have helped. But I mean, older tires with a few to go, just unless I send it in on him, I don't think I would have got to him.
I said you mentioned that caution, and we were sitting here watching the booth. We saw the times you were running. I think he would have came out ahead of Janik. He was going to do a right side on the pit stop and take as little fuel as he could. I think it would have been very close. I think you were definitely the odds were in your favor. But outside of that, the racing here tonight, we saw a lot of side-by-side battle. We saw it was mainly a race of perseverance. So can you kind of talk about the attitude of the other drivers and the tide, I guess, of tonight's race?
Yeah, it's not easy to pass here, so you basically got to get all you can on the restarts, because once you get into a run, it's very easy to defend. You just basically squeeze the guy on the bottom, don't give him much room, and you're that's basically all you have to do to keep the spot. So I think it kind of raised tempers with a lot of people, especially me. But you just wanted to be up the front, because the rear was definitely the worst place to be tonight, especially mid-pack as well. So, yeah.
Say, well, it was a great battle, great race all around. Anybody want to thank about 2 second place finish here tonight?
I want to thank Caleb Hunt Racing and all our teammates. Yeah, that's really it. And good win to Janik.
All right, well, we appreciate taking time to speak with us, and I'm sure we'll see you quite a bit throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.
Christian Barnes coming away in second. Rayshawn Winkfield rounds out the top 3. Rayshawn, you were pushing hard at the very end there. Talk to us through that battle with Christian at the very end.
I just wanted to, I don't know, I was tired of getting dumped all night. I feel bad because he apologized to him because I didn't, door him down the backstretch. But when I'm getting wrecked all night and for absolutely no reason, just built up anger. And I don't know. I didn't want to do that. So I apologize to Christian. I didn't want to wreck him there, but that race sucked. That's all I'm gonna say. It sucked.
On the positive, you had speed for much of the night when things were kept clean. How would you describe driving a track like Gateway?
I mean, you just got to be patient. You can't get on the gas too early. You saw when I got loose. I had turn 2 with like 5 to go or something like that. I just got on the gas too early. You just got to be patient, hit your marks, and just not overdrive the corners. But, some people just don't know how to do that here. It's just what it is.
So how do you approach Pocono next time out? What's your approach going to be?
Bubble wrap, I guess. I don't know. Can't really... you can't really do something for other people.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Shout out to Colin Bollinger. Shout out to Daniel Smith, my boy Plant. Shout out to Andrew Bolander. Yeah.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Rayshawn Winkfield rounds out our top 3 interviews. I'd like to thank him for the top 3, as well as everyone in the top 3 for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Ballin TV. Pocono is up next here, Brayton. Your thoughts heading into the Pocono Mountains?
Say the Tricky Triangle going to be another unique racetrack. Definitely going to test the limits of some of these guys, and we'll have to see who comes out on top May 9th there next week. So going to be a fun broadcast. We'll see if Evan Janik can be dethroned, I guess. He's been very dominant last couple weeks, and tonight, well, no different.
Going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to tune in here on Ballin TV to see how the MRL attacks Pocono. It's time to say goodbye, though. For everyone here at Ballin TV, I'd like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League and its Cup Series for the Mission 22 150 from Gateway. For Brandon Laster, for TJ Line, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the Mystic Racing League here on Ballin TV.